Good morning. That was so nice. Let's try that again. Good morning. Excellent. I'm seeing all those good mornings online too. Good morning. My name is E.B. Bromley. I use she, her pronouns, and I am honored to serve as your Director of Music and Director of Religious Education. Our chalice reading this morning comes from our Gray hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition, number 362. This is the time for you to light your chalice, if you have one at home, while our chalice is lit in the sanctuary. And we're going to take some time in silence this morning with our flame before sharing our collective song. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. This morning we offer you a prelude. So Cherubelle's going to come back on up. This morning we offer you a prelude learned from the Bird Sings song project, Boots on the Ground, Skin on the Line. Micah Hendler, Danielle Williams, Melinda Reese, and Miranda Bogan. They wrote the song, The Spark. And it will be our time for centering reflection this morning. As we play and sing, we ask those on site to come and choose a stone, and those online to go find an object that fits in the palm of your hand. As you choose, let this be a practice of searching and tapping into your spark, the light that comes from within. So nod your heads if you're with me. Okay, so you're gonna let the music wash over you, and when you're ready, come choose a stone or an object that fits in your hand. A spark that fan into a flame, a spark to fan into a flame, and tend the flame, tend the flame, tend the flame, tend the flame, gather and be warmed by our light, gather and be warmed by our light. Breathe and become. Breathe and become a spark to fan into a flame.
Let's fan the flame, to fan into a flame, a spark to fan into a flame. Tend the flame, tend the flame, tend the flame, tend the flame. Gather and be warmed by our light. Gather and be warmed by our light. Let's breathe and become. Let's breathe and become. 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 I invite you to hold on to your objects and warm it with your spark. And we'll use them again in our ritual of joys and sorrows a little later.
Good morning, everybody. What a nice way to warm into our service this morning, huh? So welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Berks County. My name is Lauren Fritz, and I use she, her pronouns. I will be your worship associate this morning. Wherever you are today, however you are joining us, you are welcome here. We gather and worship to seek the truth, to make promises, and to experience kinship. We come into each other's company to make meaning of our lives and the world. As we are gathering, I want to extend a special welcome to anyone visiting us this morning. As we begin our time of worship, we acknowledge the Lenni Lenape people upon whose ancestral land the Unitarian Universalist Church of Berks County is located. If you are joining online, please take a minute to write your name in the chat box and let us know where you are joining from this morning and on whose ancestral lands. You'll find the UU Berks Church web address in the chat box and a link to today's order of service. Following the service, we will have fellowship time for online folks in small groups and for on-site folks in the Gerber room to my left. But for now, let's take a moment to greet each other in our various places with a wave, a namaste, or a smile. Our service this morning is a time of reflection on renewing our faith in ourselves. Come, let us begin our reflection, welcoming in all who we are with number 188 in our gray hymnal, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. We'll sing it once through, all together, and then, if you have, now this is important directions, right?
Yep.
If you have a birthday between January and June, sing first with Amber. Amber. And if your birthday falls between July and December, sing with Evie and Sharabelle. And if you can't remember when your birthday is, just pick a group and go with it.
Pick one. All right, so we all have a plan. We're going to turn down the green mic a little bit. And we're going to turn up the pulpit mic a little bit. And we're going to sing and rise in body and spirit.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, come, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again whoever you are, come, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, 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 come yet again come. Cause it's so yet again come. Come yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. And the added lines, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come, yet again come. Though you've broken your vows 1,000 times. I'm going to give you a bit of time to pick one of those 4 lines. So if you've closed your hymnal and you are a reader kind of person, you might want to open it back up again. And I'll ring the bell. Actually, Lauren, if you could ring the bell, that'd be great. And when the bell rings, speak that line, one of those 4 lines. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. When the bell rings, speak your chosen line out into our room. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving.
Yet again come.
So, I now want to invite us to breath, to breathe. I don't know about you, but I have been in one way or another holding my breath for the past 2 years. And sometimes when I think I am letting my breath go again, all of a sudden it catches and I hold it again. That's happened a lot, especially over the past couple months when we've started to sing together again. Those first few weeks, maybe for you that's today, if you're joining us anew. My breath catches and it can't quite escape again. If you're okay with it, notice how your body is in this moment. Where are your feet? Where is your back? How full or shallow does your belly feel this morning? How much space does your mouth have this morning? Are your teeth touching and clenching? Or is there some space and some looseness? We're going to breathe and hold on 2, 4, 6, and 8. And here's how that's going to feel. And yes, this is my annual service where I become and show up as your voice teacher, because that's one aspect of my life and world. So we're going to breathe and hold on counts of 2, 4, 6, and 8. We'll breathe in for 2, hold for 2, out for 2, and hold for 2. And I'll count it with you. Here we go. In, 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, out, 1, 2, hold, 1, 2. In, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What does your body feel like now? Is there some more space in your mouth? Do your feet feel the ground in a new way? Does your chest feel like it's taking up more space? The space it was supposed to take up all along? Do your shoulders feel maybe a little bit more relaxed? What was the line that you spoke into the room just now of those 4 lines of our opening song? Speak it out into our room again.
Come, yes again, come.
Wow. It's a whole new room. I'd like us to try and sing Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and have you sing the line that you chose when it comes up in the song. So raise your hand if you had Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Awesome, Dan, great. So Hawk in the white shirt is going to sing that one. Raise your hand if you were wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Raise your hand if you were Ours is no caravan of despair. Ooh, we have some hopers in our service this morning. And we have Come, Yet Again Come. Maybe we can all join on that one. Ready? Here we go.
Come, come, whoever you are.
Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Come, yet again come. Let's try that again.
Come, come, whoever you are.
Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Come, yet again come. Come, yet again come. Thank you for breathing and playing and exploring with me this morning and with us.
wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Lover of leaving. It was this song, this phrase, that stopped me in my tracks about a month ago. I was listening to our service, and this line of this song I had heard so many times before jumped out at me. Lover of leaving. Was I a lover of leaving? I didn't know. Things felt very confusing, and I was kind of angry. Who put this song in here? Who was exposing my thoughts? Who put this darn song in our UU hymnal anyway? This was shortly after the news of Reverend Sandra's retirement. Coincidentally, 2 days prior, the minister from my previous church had also announced his retirement from ministry. These had been the two religious people who had held with me the precious fears and challenges related to my boy's muscular dystrophy for the past 15 years. When you carry such a heavy diagnosis, you come to a church uncertain about whether it is safe to bring your burdens to such a place. I remember coming to both churches by myself and inspecting, checking out the lay of the land in the beginning, wondering if this was the kind of place and people that could possibly understand what I would need them to. Once I trusted that the minister could hold our news, they modeled for the rest of the congregation how to be with us. The news of Sandra's retirement left me wondering if I had the energy to do this again. With a new minister, it left me questioning my belief in organized religion at large. I was aware of 5 UU ministers who were leaving or who have left their organizations, their congregations at this time. I wondered, who would I trust to hold these most precious and vulnerable parts of me? I wondered if I should be a lover of leaving. I was doing a lot of thinking. I'm also a therapist by trade. It sometimes gives me a cross-section to other perspectives. In this case, it was not letting me stay in my own scared bubble. I was seeing that UU ministers weren't the only ones leaving. I was seeing that ministers of other religions were retiring as well. Lutheran, Methodist, Catholic priests. I was seeing healthcare personnel, doctors and nurses resigning in hordes. Teachers and principals, not just my clients, other people in my family's immediate world. My son's principal and vice principal, my husband's doctor, nurses we had relied upon. After the shock of this initial realization, it became impossible for me not to think about what was happening. These were all helpers. They were all the people in our pre-pandemic society who we went to for the answers, and who at one time were supposed to be equipped to have them. They appeared saturated to the point of leaving now. Our former ways of believing that these people could hold our systems up as they were was and is not working now. That is not good or bad. It is just a thing, a pandemic thing. Something will come next. It forced me to look at all of these people, good, heartfelt people, retiring and resigning, falling from the sky like cows. It forced me to ask myself, am I one of them? Do I need to leave my work, my faith? Am I a falling cow? The quiet and clear answer was, no, not right now. But I needed to find a way to connect to my faith differently. I was raised, UU. I was raised in what is called a fellowship. A fellowship doesn't often have a regular minister, actually. In my memories as a child, I have strong and loving memories of many of the members, but no clear memories of any one minister. They visited, they came, and went. A central tenet to the way I was raised is that we each have and bring our own beautiful ministry to this faith. Whether you are a musician, a board member, a greeter, or a speaker. And the combination of all of these ministries makes a beautiful weaving. The minister included, and that makes our faith. Remembering that has helped ground and center me. When I come here with my vulnerabilities as a mother of 2 kids with a progressive, incurable illness, as an LGBTQ person, as a Black or Latino person, as an immigrant, as an addict, as a scared or suicidal person, as a person experiencing depression or anxiety, as a person in grief, in fear, as a person holding the hard thing that you carry, that I carry, that each of us carry. This weaving is what holds us. I hold it with you, and you hold it with me. And we are together. There are not illusions that a grand helper, any grand helper, can carry this. But that is really okay. We are a pretty beautiful coming together with many sources of light. So Rumi is given credit with writing this song, or this poem, though Evie tells me it's many other mystics. And I can't help but have an appreciation, the kind of appreciation you have for something or someone so much wiser than yourself. When I think of our 4th UU principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, and I realize once again, built into our faith is vast room for my struggle and searching. Though you've broken your promise 1,000 times, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, come yet again, come. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. The invitation is constant. It is inside of us. We enter now into our time of prayer, a time to share our joys and sorrows in community, What is heavy on your heart? What brings you joy? You're invited to take a few minutes to reflect on your lives. Those who are online may share joys and sorrows in the chat box, and those on site are invited to come forward and place your stones in our common bowl in silence for your joys and sorrows. We'll have a period of silence marked by our singing bowl before we join in singing Sarah Dan Jones's song in our Teal hymnal, Meditation on Breathing. May we also hold space for all those seeking refuge and safety in the many places in our world. We pray that they are met with energy of deep kindness and increased understanding. Let there be light for our joys and love for our sorrows and room for it all. As we honor what we have shared aloud and what we know in the silent places of our hearts. It is all good and welcome here. Amen.
Amen. It is welcome here. Sometimes, though, we lose sight of our welcome. We lose sight of our welcome. We lose the light inside, and we have to renew our faith in possibility, renew our faith in ourselves. And one of the ways that we can explore that is through learning something new. Learning something new. And our story this morning, with words by Angela Di Terlizzi and pictures by Lorena Alvarez, has a friend that can help us try something new. These are days when your dreams haven't come true, or you're upset by the things you can't do. If you've lost or failed or cried just a bit, you're tired of waiting and you're ready to quit. Like that shiny new bike you couldn't ride. And it didn't matter how hard you tried. You couldn't pedal and you couldn't steer and you couldn't get that bike into gear. And then when you thought you were on the right track, you popped a wheelie and fell on your back. And now you won't ride. No way, not never. No riding for you. You'll walk forever. Don't give up now. There's a major game changer, a most amazing thought rearranger. Someone to show you how good you can get. Now introducing the magical Yet. With this Yet's magic, you can begin to see that you're going beyond where you've been. There are so many things that you've learned to do when you didn't know the Yet was within you. Like when you babbled before you could talk, or how you crawled before you could walk. Yet is a dreamer and a schemer and a hoper and a trier and a maker and a doer, a gotta fly higher. This Yet finds a way even when you don't, and yet knows you will when you think you won't. Like that shiny new bike that you couldn't ride, hope and hop right back on with the Yet by your side. Yet doesn't mind warm-ups and fixes and flops and do-overs and redos and stumbles and stops. Yet knows there's mistakes, some big and some small. With Yet, you're sure to get over them all. Play a kazoo or the bassoon. Jam with the Yet and you'll be in tune. Try skateboarding tricks like the ollie heel flip. This Yet can get you to the championship. Tongue twisters twisted your tongue in a knot. Yet says keep trying and practice. How much do we need to practice? A lot. Yes. Be patient. Yet can't do it all overnight. Some things take months or years to get right. But if you keep leaping and dreaming and wishing and learning and waiting and trying and missing,
With the yet as your guide, along the way, you'll do all the things you can't do today. Now you're bolder, braver, and starting to see with yet you can get where you want to be. You finally did it, yet knew you could. You're not just riding, you're getting quite good. But don't stop now. You've got so much to do. The good news is this yet grows with you. So no matter how big or old you might get, you'll never outgrow. You'll never forget. You can always believe in the magic of yet. The magic of yet can really help us renew faith in ourselves. The magic of yet can really help us renew faith in ourselves. With this magic, you can be a bit more comfortable not knowing how to do something yet. I'm so glad we have this story in our world and these beautiful pictures. Thank you for sharing them, Mike. When is a time in your life you've had help from yet? When is a time in your life that you've had help from yet on your journey? Maybe for some of us it was picking up a new instrument, trying a new voice part, testing the waters of playing with harmony. Oh, we're so exposed. Maybe for some of us it was riding a new bike. When was a time in your life you've had help from yet? Have you thought of it for yourself? I see some nods of heads. Many of you don't know our next song yet, but we're going to learn it together. So, repeat after me. Can I have that first opening note, Mr. Matz? I think it's that one, but I've been known to shift around keys. Just that opening D, please. I had it. So repeat after me. We are living and we are living. Good. We are dwelling. We are dwelling in a grand and awesome time. In a grand and awesome time. We can worship. We can worship. We can cherish. We can cherish all the ones we live beside. All the ones we live beside. Let's try that all the way through. We are living, we are dwelling in a grand and awesome time. We can worship, we can cherish all the ones we live beside. Unity Unitarian Universalism teaches that all the ones we live beside includes you, and includes you, and includes you. It includes you too. You are enough. I am enough. We are enough. You are worthy of being cherished. Practicing ways to remind ourselves of that. That's a way to renew faith in ourselves. We're going to bring this song back in a little while as we continue to reflect on renewing faith in ourselves. Almost. And we're going to hear from Rita Spoenberg about one of her promises and one of her ways that she has found her journey.
Hi, my name is Rita. That's me on the left with my daughter Becky in the middle and my younger daughter Hannah on the right. That's at Millennium Park in Chicago where they both live. I live in Pottsville, Schuylkill County, and here's how I found my way to Unitarian Universalism. I was born and raised Catholic, but married a Russian Orthodox man when I was 27. When I was in my teens, I began a life of prayer and meditation, and I believed that I was connecting with something real. I thought I had a very strong faith. And my ex-husband was supposedly all about spirituality also. But after 24 years of a difficult marriage, I found myself contemplating two things I never thought I would. One, divorce, and the other, the distinct possibility that what I'd believed my whole life might be wrong. Well, I'm happily divorced for 9 years now, but I'm still navigating through the changes in my spiritual outlook. During the troubled last years of my marriage, I had discovered the UU Church and it appealed to me. But I couldn't find anything close to home, and because of family health issues and divorce upheaval, Berks UU at that time was out of the question. Then, one day after my mother passed, Hannah had grown a little, and life in general was settling down, I looked again, and I found a small UU right here in Pottsville, just minutes from my home. I joined in 2016. Sadly, though, this small church was a relatively newly established church which had already passed its peak by that time. And when the pandemic hit in 2020, it was the proverbial nail in the coffin. I remembered Berks UU, and with things settling so much, it no longer seemed too far away. I started joining your virtual services in the fall of 2020 and officially joined at the beginning of 2021. My financial relationship with church has changed quite a bit over my life, from throwing coins in the basket as a child to tithing a full 10% of my income to try to make my rule-oriented ex-husband happy. But financial responsibility as a church member really became clarified when I was involved with the very small Schuylkill UU. With membership numbers maybe in the 20s when I joined and down to a handful of people at the end, the need for individual member support was inescapable. So when I joined Berks, I was fully prepared to contribute. I understand wanting, even needing, to belong to a church, yet being unable to contribute more than a tiny amount, and consequently choosing not to pledge. But if just a few in that position would commit to a small amount every month, it would combine to be another significant contribution the church would otherwise not have. I have a handyman whose slogan is, "No job too small." I'm going to borrow and tweak that slogan and say, there is no gift that is too small. My heart now belongs to Unitarian Universalism. I've said many times, I still feel a sense of disbelief when I contemplate that it has been here my whole life, but I never knew it. I also must confess to being rather envious of people who are lucky enough to grow up UU. And I tell anyone who might question this new direction in my life, where mainstream churches would say, "Come, join us, we have all the answers." UU says, "Come, join us, we have the same questions."
I want to thank Rita Spoenberg for her testimony this morning. And as a musical
Hi,
thanks,
my name is Rita.
as soon as it comes back. I mean, it was great to listen to the once. And I'm sure we're looking at sharing it again in a different way. We're going to sing a musical reprise, a musical thanks to her and to this community with the song that we just learned. Ready? It's the same one. Just the desk, right up here. We are living, we are dwelling in a grand and awesome time. We can worship, we can cherish all the ones we live beside. We are living, we are dwelling in a grand and awesome time. We can worship, we can cherish all the ones we live beside. We are living, we are dwelling in a grand and awesome time in all senses of that word. We can worship, we can cherish all the ones we live beside, and we are going to do that cherishing work with our offertory this morning.
Forgive as I scurry across the, the stage. So I would like to graciously welcome my colleague Cynthia to speak to us about one of the recipients of our special plate donations. If you recall, we all voted as a congregation about different wonderful organizations that are working in our community, and rather than just a single donation, we've selected places to receive our largesse and our charity over the next 3 years. So I'm going to turn this over to Cynthia to talk about her organization.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Cynthia, and I am the Assistant Center Manager at Planned Parenthood Keystone at the center here in Reading. Planned Parenthood Keystone is part of the nation's largest sexual and reproductive health care organizations. Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Thank you. We provide the full range of sexual and reproductive care and evidence-based sex education. Our mission is to provide and promote access to the essential reproductive health care services and comprehensive sexuality education people need to live healthy lives and build strong communities. Our Susie and John Stanley Health Center at Reading celebrated its 1-year anniversary in November. This new state-of-the-art health center provides care to the Greater Berks community. We are so proud of our center, which provides patients with quality and affordable health care. And the center is the site of 3 sex education programs: our Health Resource Center, our bilingual sex education program, and the Spectrum for LGBTQ youth. Every day I see patients who get the care they need and without judgment or shame, and I am so proud of what I do. Our work is possible through the generous support of people like you. You are our allies, in the fight. You're no stranger to what's going on in the world. We're seeing attacks on our health centers and on the very services we provide. Your support means our patients can get sex education, birth control, cancer screenings, gender-affirming hormone therapy, abortion care, breast exams, treatments for sexually transmitted infections and urinary tract infections, and more. It means patients can get the care they need from someone like me. So we thank you for considering making a gift to us. And thank you for your support. And thank you for having me today.
As a community of faith, we promise to be generous with our time, talent, and financial resources. Our financial gifts help us to live our values. You may contribute to this month's special plate collection by writing a check to UU Berks and writing Planned Parenthood on the memo line. Those who are on site may place a check in the box in the Gerber room labeled for that purpose. Those online may mail or drop off that check to the church. This is the time to share what you can. With gratitude, we give and we receive these gifts.
So for our offertory this morning, not only are we asking you to participate financially, but we are asking you to participate in song. Remember that song that we just learned? Nod your heads. Nod your heads. Remember that song that we just learned? Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to sing the refrain first. When that refrain comes back around, Amber's going to help us all sing that song on top of the song we're going to offer this morning from Pat Humphries and Emma's Revolution. We are living neath the great big river. We are washed by the very same rain. We are dwelling in the stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side.
I am alone and I am searching, hungering for answers in my time. I am jealous on the brink of wisdom. I'm impatient to receive a sign. I move forward with my senses open, cherishing the beings that we might grow. In humility I will listen. We're all swimming to the other side.
We are living with the great big difference. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in a stream together, some in power and some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side.
Nicely done, all.
And so we close our service this morning with words adapted by Becky Laurent. As flame is to spirit, so spirit is to breath, and breath to song. Though we extinguish this flame for now, in our homes and in our sanctuary, may we tend it with our hearts until we light it again. Please join in our closing song with a hymn that helps many of us tend that flame in our own hearts, number 123, Fuente de Amor, Spirit of Life. The words will be on our screen in the chat box, and for those with a gray hymnal, in front of them in our hands.
And we're going to start with the English this morning. Please rise in body, rise in spirit as you are able to close out our worship service.
And welcome now to a time to be in conversation. In a few moments, those online will be invited into breakout groups, and those on site may gather in the Gerber Room. Go in peace, rooted in love, until we meet again.